What's up, y'all? It's your girl JoJo, and I'm here with a review for Married at First Sight. This is season 10, episode 14. Why are they wasting our time? Like, you got stuff to do, right? I got stuff to do. You got stuff to do, I'm sure. Even during a pandemic, I'm sure there's things you want to do. Why is Married at First Sight wasting our time? That is a serious question. And it's the reason why I wanted to start reviewing it a long time ago, but I wanted to also be committed to seeing it through to the end. I guess I have the same level of dysfunction that they do on this show, because that's what they're doing. When they had every right to leave at the recommitment mark and say, you know what, this is not for me, but everybody's seeing it through to the end, just like I'm seeing it through to the end. So you know what, I guess we both crazy. I'm just now realizing that we all wasting time, and I don't want to waste any more of your time, so let me just get into the review. We only got 3 more episodes, and God, I thank you. So let's start with the rides down. All right, so Jessica and Austin are being Jessica and Austin. There's no, they're going to do what they do, right? I was interested in why Jessica had a crock pot, but did she prepare something? Was that the taco meat? I don't know. She had a crock pot. So they're heading on to their journey. Then we've got Katie and Derek. Now, look. Katie is annoyed, and Katie's always annoyed. And we're going to talk about Katie a little bit later, but she's in the car. And Derek is being his normal playful, not childish. Derek is playful, but he's not childish. He's being his normal playful self. And Katie says she's annoyed. Okay? So then she starts to bring up his high school poem and this whole love thing again, and how she has had to date guys where she used to be the chaser, and how she had to realize with herself that she's a catch and she doesn't have to do all of the chasing in a relationship. And that's great. That's great. You're supposed to realize these kind of things about yourself. That's good. So she says that she's a catch, and Derek agrees. And see, this is why you can't really start an argument with Derek, because Derek is he's not arguable, if that's a word. He's not arguable. He's just not gonna do it. Okay, he was like, yeah, you are a catch. Like, he does everything that you would expect for somebody to do to disagree with you. He doesn't do it. And she was like, you know what, you're a catch too. So that ends the argument that I think she was trying to get going. And both of them are a catch. Okay, be catchy together. That's wonderful. So we move on. Now we got the other couples riding down the road, which would be Taylor and Brandon, and Mike and Mika. So Taylor and Brandon are not really speaking to each other. Well, Brandon's not speaking to Taylor, but Taylor's trying to talk to him and ask him if he's excited about the trip, and Brandon just wants to go to sleep. And the reason for this is because the night before, Taylor decided that she wasn't going to come home. She stayed out with her friends. Her friends had a hotel room. She stayed in the hotel room with her friends. No, ma'am. Now, normally, this wouldn't be an issue. I've had my friends who are married stay with me overnight, but usually that's kind of pre-planned, or it's at least known well in advance, like, hey, I've been drinking. I'm going to stay with her tonight. No big deal, this, that, and the third. It's not told when you finally wake up the following day. There's usually a little bit more precaution taken. But you know what? For the purposes of this episode, I'm going to just go ahead and let y'all know now. Since they're wasting time, I'm going to let y'all know now that I'm not going to continue to talk about these situations and break them down real logically and, say what should be done and what shouldn't be done. Because when I talk about those kind of situations, I'm talking about real marriages. I'm no longer respecting any of this as a real marriage, other than Jessica and Austin and a little bit of Katie and Derek. But as far as everybody else, I'm no longer having the respect for it, because they don't have the respect for it. In normal situations, would a wife do this? No, she wouldn't. But this isn't a normal situation. These aren't normal marriages, and I'm not going to continue to speak on them as such. I think it is a mockery and a disgrace to people who are really married. Y'all that's really married out there, y'all know. Y'all that's really in relationships out there, y'all know. Some of this would have been ended a long time ago, and all of them could have left at the recommitment time, but they're still here, just like I could have left around episode 6 when I said I was leaving, but I'm still here. So let me stop it. I ain't no better, huh? Okay, let's move forward. But I'm not going to continue to break it down and say who was doing this, who was doing that, because it's pointless. It's all a waste of time. So, was Taylor wrong? Sure. But this isn't a normal marriage, so whatever. So then we get Mike and Mika. Mike looks miserable. And it's funny because it seems like the two of them have switched places. Mika's doing all the talking and filling in all the space. Meanwhile, Mike is looking all stone-faced like Mika would normally look. So it's like they've switched roles, which is actually kind of funny and ironic. Mika is talking about what she plans to do and what she wants to do and how she wants to feel when she gets there and what kind of stuff she wants to work on and what she's excited about. She says all that, and Mike is just like, yep, sure, whatever you say. She talks about what she might want to address with their relationship and what she want to improve. Like, yep, those are all valid, whatever you say. So he's doing the agreeable, disagreeable type of attitude. And hey, I mean, I wasn't mad at it. Like I said, whatever y'all gonna do at this point. So we find out that Mike is really upset because Mika was not comforting to him whenever he lost his uncle. He was sitting there crying, and she kind of was just, I guess, sitting there looking at him. I don't know if she patted him on the back. I really don't know, because we don't get a lot of discussion about the passing of his uncle, and I guess there's no video footage of what happened during that time. So we don't really know exactly what happened. But I can imagine it probably did not go right. And in a normal situation, yes, you would want your wife to be there. You would expect your wife to be comforting. But didn't I just say these are normal situations? I don't even know why these people are still here. Yes, I do. They want to see it through to the end. I hope it's a check involved. I don't have a check involved, so my level of crazy is, I guess, completely different. But it's really for y'all, because I appreciate y'all. So that's really my reason. I can't really speak for theirs. I hope it's a check, though. So yeah, in a normal situation, your wife should be comforting for you, and that would make me upset too. But also in a normal situation, what couples would do before they leave the house to go spend time with other couples, they would have these conversations at home. They would have these conversations before they got there. They wouldn't be tight-lipped about the conversation and act like nothing's wrong. Be passive-aggressive, then get to the place and then decide that that's where they want to address all their grievances. But again, it's a mockery to normal marriages. So let's just move on, because we got stuff to do. All right. So when they get there, Brandon is not really excited to be spending time with the other couples, and Brandon states that he doesn't really know them like that. He doesn't really want to spend time with them like that. Taylor does kind of go in and stay with everybody else, and in a normal circumstance, again, your wife will come out and check on you and make sure you're good, but we're not dealing with normal people or normal circumstances, so we shouldn't even expect for that to happen, right? Do y'all expect it? I don't expect it. Okay, cool. So they're in the house, right? Taylor's in the house. Brandon is outside. And when they start having conversations about their relationships, I will say that I don't mind hanging with other couples either, but I can get a little standoffish about my relationship, because my relationship, when I'm happy, I put my relationship in like this bubble. I'm not secretive about my relationship, but I don't release too much, because I like to keep my happiness here. I like to keep my situation here. I don't want anybody asking me a whole bunch of questions, trying to throw me off and thinking that I'm not happy where I'm at, because I was happy before I started talking to y'all. So I'm good. But with this, the counselors try to lessen their job as much as possible, so they just throw them in the loop together. Y'all counsel each other. We've already talked about that. So Taylor just says she doesn't really know what's going on, even though she does, and she can't figure out what's wrong, but there's not really much to tell. And Katie says that her and Derek just aren't vibing. We're not vibing. He can be so childish sometimes, and I want him to be more grown up, but I just feel like what you and Austin are doing and how you feel about Austin, I just don't feel like we're there. I don't feel like we're at that point. Katie, I'm gonna hold on. It's coming though, but I'm gonna hold on. So once everybody gets to the house, Michael and Brandon are outside doing more bonding. They're not really inside with everybody else, and in normal circumstances, yes, you want to go out there and check on them, but we're not dealing with normal circumstances. And me, I'm the type of person that if you're going to be out, like if you want to be an outsider, because I've been in large groups before, and there's always a couple of people that put themselves on the outside and don't really want to be with the group, and I don't go check on them. I know that probably sounds terrible. Like, I might do one check-in, but after that, that's it. You want to be here? We're in here. I don't want you in here killing the vibe that we got going on, and I don't want to kill yours, so just stay on out here. I probably would have been fine with that, but maybe I'm just not as nice of a person as I need to be. But fine, just go ahead and stay out there. So they're in the house, and Derek is being to me, Derek is being a good host. Jessica is bossing everybody around, saying we gonna make tacos. I was like, girl, who made you judge and jury? But then I realized when you're in a large group setting, there's always a mama. There's always a mama there telling you how it's gonna roll. Jessica is the mama. So they're about to make the food or whatever. And Derek makes everybody a drink. He makes Mika a drink. He makes Taylor a drink. And, I didn't see a problem with it. He was being a gracious host. They got there first. They picked the biggest room. They had been in the house the longest. Let me make everybody a drink who just came in. I was cool with that. Katie, on the other hand, is giving Derek the side eye the entire time he is engaging with Taylor. See, the thing about it is, Derek, to me, is playful, not childish. And Derek is also one of those people who likes to make sure that everybody's having a good time. And that's men or women. If the men had to come in, he would have made them a drink too, because he's just that type of guy. And in order to be with these type of guys who want to make sure that everybody's good, you have to be a very, very secure person. Okay, there's women like this. They just want to make sure everybody's okay. They're the life of the party. Taylor strikes me as a life of the party type of girl. And then, you can't ignore the fact that Taylor has a nice, cute little shape. She ain't got no butt. She don't really got no butt, but she got a nice, cute little shape. She had a little crop top on or whatever. Maybe Katie might have been feeling some type of way. I don't really know. But she felt like she didn't appreciate Derek trying to be the ladies' man, making people drinks and whatnot. And Derek is just kind of laughing it off because he's a laugh it off type of dude. I know I don't see people going into the gym. The gym is closed. Child, these folks. Anyway, so after all that happens, they go and they sit down and they start eating their tacos. Michael and Brandon come in briefly. Michael makes him a taco. Brandon, they got some shots available. Neither Brandon or Michael want to take the shot, and so it's a whole bunch of rigmarole going on there. They try to get him to take the shot. Don't. If somebody doesn't be around, don't try to force them to be around. The best thing you can do is let them go do what they do. That's the type of person I am. I'm not about to sit here and beg anybody to be a part of the group. Go ahead, do what you want to do. Y'all need that bonding time together anyway. You love to see it. Go do that. So that's what they go do. And so somebody help me understand what happened with the shots. Because Derek asked, do y'all want to take the shot now or after dinner? And Taylor said, well, I'm down to take it to before, but your wife. Was she trying to say, see what your wife wants to do, or was that a shot? Like, what was that? I kept rewinding it. I didn't get it. It was edited weird to me. But Katie said she ready to take the shot right now, so that's how they ended up taking shots. But I was just confused by that part. So as they're continuing to sit there, Jessica does say that she told Austin that she loved him, and everybody's excited. And Austin says, I just want it to be right. I want it to be the perfect time when I say it, and I'm definitely have these feelings for her, and I want it to be genuine. And Derek comments like, yeah, when you do say you love somebody, you definitely want it to be the right time in the right place, and you want to be genuine. And the whole time that Derek is giving off his advice and talking to Taylor and talking to Austin and Jessica, Katie's getting heated because she don't understand why Derek got all this to say and why he's talking to Taylor so much and trying to give her advice and be there for her. Why is he doing all of that? And Taylor's like, you know what? Me and Derek are always on the same page. And then they kind of have a laugh about it. And Katie is just like, y'all know the faces she be making. So then Taylor makes a comment like, you really lucked up, Katie. Derek is a good guy. And she kind of tapped him on the shoulder. And so after that, Katie says, I'm about to throw up. I can't take it anymore. And she even makes a statement that they need to stop because it's ruining her marriage. I was just like, them commenting about Derek is ruining your marriage? We're confused. So she gets up and she storms off. And if somebody posted the still shot on Twitter of Derek, Mika, and Taylor's faces, and I promise you it was one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen. So Katie storms off, right? Okay, I'm sorry, I got to get in my notes on this one because I had a lot to say and think about. So the girls come to check on Katie. Jessica comes to check on Katie, and Mika comes to check on Katie. Taylor knew better and stayed behind. And they're talking to her, and Katie is crying. And I honestly think Katie also had too many glasses of wine. I noticed that she kept filling up her glass. So she says that she doesn't really appreciate Derek sitting there doing all of that, talking to the ladies like that, because he doesn't do that with her. He doesn't do that at home. And everybody thinks he's such this great guy, and I'm just like this witch. And I was just like, nobody really said that you were a witch. So you kind of inferred that of yourself, but let's carry on. Everybody thinks Derek is like this great guy. Meanwhile, I'm doing everything. I'm initiating everything in our relationship. I am pulling the weight of our relationship. And Katie, when I do these reviews, even when I do call somebody out, I try to give them the respect they deserve. I can call them out, but also try to point out other places that people need to be accountable. Like, I do the best I can. Sometimes emotion comes in, but I try to put my logic in and my respect as much as I can. But Katie, I'm really feeling like disrespecting you at this point, because I don't know how much patience you trying me. No, you are not pulling the weight in your relationship. You are the weight, if you ask me. I have been going over and over in my mind, what is it that Derek is possibly doing? Because I believe I can look at the situations with the other couples who are having problems, and I can see the problems on both sides, like both people. But when it comes to Derek, I'm really trying really hard to see where the issue is with him and what problem it is that you're really having. Unless they're cutting it out on the cameras, baby, I don't see it. You are the weight. So let's discuss, okay? Instead of getting real involved in their conversation, actually, let me tell you about the second part that Katie did before I get to that. So when they get in there, Derek finally comes to check on her. They're sitting on the bed. And again, Derek has to come to her to find out what the problem is. And Katie says, no, Derek says, are you upset with me because you think I was flirting with Taylor? And Katie's just like, I mean, the fact that you even know to come in here and say that means you know you did something wrong and you're doing all that. And Derek was just like, she was having a rough time. I was just talking to her. I was just trying to be nice. Yeah, but you're not like that with me. You don't do that with me. You don't initiate things with me. I initiate everything in our relationship, including the physical. So I guess now they're talking about sex. And Derek points out, you've been on your period for 6 days. And coming from somebody who has a several day lengthy period, you would think you would be honored and feel respected that your guy was courteous enough to not really hound you or not really make any statements about the fact that you're still, on the rag, as some people would say, and kind of give you that time to yourself, give your body time to do what it do. Do you know she turns around and says people have sex on their periods? Now, y'all, that's why I say I think she was drunk. I'm not saying that doesn't happen and that I don't know people who do that, or whatever y'all want to do. But what I'm saying is that usually takes a length of time to develop, a level of trust and time in a relationship to develop. That's not something that you do with somebody that you just met 30 days ago, number one. And number two, everybody don't want to do that. And some men are just respectful of that time. And if you want to do something like that, they're going to let you make the decision. They're not going to bring it up. And I'm like, girl, do you know it is some men who they don't care. You could be in a neck brace and they'll still rub that thigh to see what's going on. You should be thankful that you have a guy who, if you say no, he might let you initiate the next time, or let him know, drop some hints when you're in the mood. I'm not saying, and then where do we get off thinking that every time that the man wants to be the initiator? You do know some of them complain about that, because I have some male friends who've complained about it to me. They don't like to be the initiator every single time. They don't mind when you kind of, creep up on them, make them feel wanted. So I'm just like, it's got to happen on both sides. But that's okay. We can move on from that. What I really want to talk about is the hypocrisy, because once they get outside, she's yelling at him. And he does end up exploding at her, but I just think he couldn't take anymore. But she was yelling at him about how, you don't do this with me. You do this with everybody else, but you don't do it with me. You don't practice the same kind of care and concern with me. I've watched you sit here and do and talk to other girls, and you're not weird or awkward, but you're weird and awkward with me. He's weird and awkward with you because when he tries to be himself around you, you call him annoying. You say he needs to grow up. So then he tries to be his adult self, and it comes off awkward. That's probably what's going on. But let's point out the hypocrisy, Katie, because I've been trying to figure out where you're coming from, and I'm not there with you. So you say that he is childish, he needs to man up, and he doesn't initiate. Let's go through a couple of things. Derek initiated putting you on his insurance because he knew you were a diabetic. So that was what? An initiation. Derek also bought you concert tickets to your favorite, whoever it was. That, my friend, was an initiation. Derek took you to do the ropes thing. It was very type of, feminine type of thing, and he went and did it with you and had fun with you. That was an initiation. He got his Jolly Green Giant Bigfoot self in that bathtub and fed you strawberries could have got a knee injury because it looked tight up in there. That, my friend, was an initiation. That, my friend, was showing you care and concern. He continues to go to you every time that you get mad to make sure that you're okay and apologizes to you even though you are first in the wrong. That, my friend, is an initiation. He's already doing very adult things that a married man would do. Sometimes it takes married men years to learn, and yet for whatever reason, you don't appreciate it. You're sitting over here talking about whether or not somebody wanted to have sex with you on your period and whether or not they were flirting with Taylor. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So at this point, I'm convinced that you are wanting to lose your man and you need to develop some security. But we're going to talk about that too. Let's move on. Child, I feel like I didn't even take a breath that whole time. All right, so once Michael and Brandon come back in, Mika tells Michael that they don't need to sleep together given everything that's going on. Michael's cool with it. Okay, fine. We kind of knew that was going to happen. I knew they weren't going to sleep together, and why would they sleep together? They don't even like each other, okay? I don't even know why they're still here. I don't even know why everybody is wasting our time, so I'm not surprised. I'm not going to continue to talk about that. If it was a normal marriage, I would, but it's not, so let's keep going. Brandon is outside, and Taylor takes that time to try to go creep up on him because Taylor done had a couple of drinks, so, she feeling right. Brandon's not really feeling it. He's going through his phone, and that's when he finally does bring up to her that he doesn't appreciate her being out and then acting like everything is going to be hunky-dory. Now, what I wish would have happened is they would have had this conversation in the car or back at home, but like I said, one thing I noticed about these two, neither of them like to initiate. Like, if it comes to an apology or a conversation or even hanging out, it's like, I'll do it if you do it. I'll say it if you say it. I'm sorry if you sorry. It's always that. So I'm not surprised that they didn't talk about it before they got there. So, you get what I'm saying? Like, Brandon could have brought it up, but then again, Taylor also knew what was wrong with him, but neither one of them said anything. That's what I mean by neither one of them initiate. So they get there, and they're outside, they're talking about it, and Brandon kind of calls it out, and Taylor's just like, don't do that, because you asked me to take you to work. I wanted us to hang out. You wanted to go to work. I dropped you off at work. You needed a ride. And since I was already going to be in DC, I decided to hang out with my friends, and then I ended up with my friends. Now, the whole time Brendan was trying to say, okay, so you planned on going to hang out with your friends initially, right? You planned on doing that anyway, right? You were going to party anyway, right? As a married woman, you was going out there to party anyway. As they're going back and forth, Taylor, now baby, I don't know what you was, I'm not saying you was doing something, but I am saying you sounded defensive. You sounded a little defensive. You couldn't get your words together. You were just like, I was going, no, you were going to work. No, we're not going to do this. You're not going to make it look like I went to my friends. I fell asleep and I called you after I fell asleep, and child, it wasn't, she was giving me Michael. Sorry, it wasn't sounding like the truth. Okay, so Brandon is just kind of looking at her like, yeah, whatever. And so then she kind of gets in his face. She calls him the B word, which is a no, that's what we not gonna do. So that's when I really knew, like, Taylor, baby, is you lying? Because I done got caught up before, okay? I done got caught up. I'm going to just leave it at that, back. And one of the things that you do when you caught up, you start speaking real loud, trying to get your story together, trying to cut the person off before they can say any more. And that's really what was going on, right? So once Taylor and Brandon are done with the conversation, Brandon is done. He starts taking his mic off. The producer come over there and say, hey, man, you can't take that mic off. And Brandon was like, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Then they kind of sizing each other up. I'm like, are they about to fight about this microphone? I mean, what? But they don't. He goes in the house. He doesn't have his mic on. He's packing up some stuff because I guess he's going to leave. Taylor corners him in the bathroom. I'm glad he turned his camera on because, child, you got to do what you got to do. Taylor corners him in the bathroom, and she is trying not to let him walk out. And like, I want to talk. No, I want you to talk to me about what happened. I was just like, Taylor, you don't want to talk to him. You don't want to talk to him. This is all for the sake of whatever production you're trying to put on. I don't believe she wanted to talk to him. Brandon didn't want to talk. He finally gets released out of the bathroom. He calls the production because he's ready to go. A van comes. This is the following morning now. The following morning, a van comes, And Michael is leaving too because he has to take care of some flower arrangements for his uncle. So he's gonna leave too. Mika finds out that morning that Michael is leaving right before he's about to go. Now again, normal situations, your wife is probably gonna come with you to make funeral arrangements for another family member, but this is not a normal situation. All of them are what? Say it with me. Say it with me. Wasting our time. So Brandon is more production, carrying on with them. Unlock the door of the van. Brandon not unlocking the door of the van. He doesn't want anybody to come over there with a camera. I'll unlock this door, but nobody better not come over here. Eventually, though, they are off. Now, what do I feel about the whole situation? All of it was just a mess. It was a mess. I don't know if I believe Taylor. I really hate that it had to go here and it had to be this big deal, because it seems like every time there is a group dynamic, these two have gotten into it, and it's just not a good look for either one of them, right? I believe that the producers I couldn't tell if they were trying to I think they were trying to de-escalate once Taylor got him in the bathroom, but had they have done all of that outside, I think the producers would have been like, keep it rolling, let's keep it rolling, let's keep it rolling. Now, I've come to the conclusion that Brandon definitely doesn't like to film, but again, at the 3-week or the 4-week mark, Brandon had the opportunity to say, you know what, I don't like living my relationship out in public like this, I don't want to do this anymore, I don't want to film anymore and have a marriage, I think I'm going to exit gracefully. He decided not to, so he decided to have the cameras in his face still today. That's just how it's going to roll. I mean, it's not going to be any different. So, yeah, I could have understood it 4 weeks ago. Can't understand it now. So, let's see what else. I guess they want to see it through to the end. Later on, Derek does end up apologizing to Katie, which I was very upset about that. They end up coming to some type of common ground where Katie is just like, everybody just thinks you're so great, and I don't want anybody to look at me like I'm this and that. I'm not even going to go through it. Katie, you need to work on your security. You need to go get more secure within yourself so that you can understand what kind of man that you have in Derek. Derek, stop apologizing to her, because she needs to start apologizing to you when she is in the wrong. Stop coming to her all the time, because it's going to be something that you're going to have to continue to do throughout your marriage. She should have really come to you. And this is another thing. Katie is so concerned about whether or not Derek has been in love when she doesn't really realize what a gift she has, that she has a man that has not been jaded and heartbroken by love. Because men and women, some of us handle heartbreak differently. We have our heartbreak, we cry, we get through it, we move on, we got the support of our girls, we kind of move through it, and we still continue to date again. Guys sometimes might hold on to some of their, sometimes, because I know somebody gonna say, not me, sometimes hold on to their heartbreak. Some of y'all still holding on to heartbreak from 9th and 10th grade about some girl that broke your heart and was cheating on you. Let me tell y'all, quit holding on to heartbreak before 21. I'm sorry. I just had to say that. Anybody that tells me, well, I had a girl cheat on me, back when I was in 11th grade, and now I don't really trust people. I'm sorry. What teenagers gonna teen? Boy or girl? Teenagers gonna teen. I don't expect extreme amounts of loyalty, but maybe that's just me. I expect them to be teenagers, not full-grown adults, but whatever. Let go of that heartbreak, though. Let it go. If anybody out there still holding on, let it go. But she should be lucky enough to have a guy who has not been jaded and heartbroken by love and doesn't have all of these preconceived notions. You actually have a gift there if you look at the other side of it instead of focusing on the negative side. And that's something that I noticed all throughout this show. When I watch multiple dating shows, is that people have all of these preconceived notions and ideas about men, or preconceived notions and ideas about women, and you take those and you carry it with them. And we got to remember, the universe doesn't know the difference between what we want and what we don't want. All it does know is the frequency. The more that you think about it, the more that you focus on, the more that you put energy onto it, those are the people that you attract back to you. So if you believe that everybody's going to be a cheating dog, you're going to continue to collect cheating dogs. If you believe everybody's going to be conniving and evil, you're going to continue to connect with conniving and evil. What you believe, you will attract. When I changed my thinking about that, I really found myself in a much better relationship. But remember, the frequencies, they don't know the difference. So continue to focus on that BS. Continue writing these think pieces all across YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you go, about this person and that person, and that's what you're going to continue to attract. But that was just a tangent that I went off on, and we're going to finish up the show. So Brandon and Michael leave. Mika and Taylor have a good time at a paranormal activity where they meet a husband who still misses his wife from hundreds of years ago. Whatever. Katie and Derek, they do an activity. Jessica and Austin, they do an activity. When Michael does get back, Mama Jessica is hemming Michael up, ain't she? She asked him all kind of questions. Like, she had bruh on curfew. Like, when did y'all do this? And when did y'all do that? When did y'all go here? Okay, so did you get everything situated with your uncle? Did you see your family? Okay, so did y'all go to the festival? Did you go in with Brandon, or did you come back out? And it was at that point, when Michael got to stammering, that Jessica realized she needed to get out of the paint and get into her macaroni and cheese. I said, that's right, Jessica. Mind your business. Your man is beside you. So Mika does end up coming in and was just like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you told me that y'all just dropped Brandon off, but it sounds to me like you went into the festival, like you went with Brandon. You didn't really go. Did you go see about your uncle at all? It's like this kind of stuff that I'm talking about. So Michael says, look, don't talk to me like I'm a child. Don't be trying to call me out. So again, we got another situation where Mika is on camera calling him out about whether or not he is lying. So we're going to have probably next week him saying that he can't trust her and he can't be vulnerable because she always calling him out. It's going to be more of the same. It's going to be a roundabout. It's going to be some more wasting of our time. We don't have time for it. This is a shame. These people don't deserve marriages. These people don't deserve serious relationships until they can do the work on themselves and then get into a more positive relationship. I hope Derek is getting fan mail, because Katie, if you and your double chin don't want him, there's another woman who does. Because the more you do that, the more I start to notice things about your face that I don't like. And I'm just going to put that out there. I got to go, though. Y'all can like, comment, and subscribe. I don't even know if I'm going to get down in the comments that much on this one, because I don't feel like wasting any more of my time continuing to talk about this stupid show. It is silly. It is a mockery. And these producers should be ashamed. And these matchmakers should be ashamed, because they really set these people up, in my opinion. Background checks were not done thoroughly. And I'm over it. I'm over it. I hope y'all have a good day. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.